Hey everyone, Lesson 2, Level 6, Choosing Your Own Adventure by using object references as parameters, where we're going to write methods using objects as parameters. And this one, let's do C. This one involves a message that is scrolling across the screen, and we are going to write the method that makes that happen. So let me reset my version history so I don't right over the top of this. This is actually kind of cool, and I know Wyatt was working on this in class the other day. So we will come back to this and check it. So the message class represents a scene with a message that appears to scroll across the scene. And so that is here. So this is where the message is. All right. And so the message class has text, the X position and the Y position. If it's scrolling across the screen, the only thing that will be changing is the X position. The Y position will stay the way it is. And then here is your constructor for a message. It takes that text, which is the message, and puts it at an X position and a Y position. And we're going to want to change the X position to give it like a look of animating. And there's the getter method and get X. We're probably going to have to use the get X and set X as well. I don't think we'll need to use the get Y. But we'll definitely need the set X because we're going to add something to the current X value and set the new X value. And so we need to, this is overriding a method. We're going to override the draw scene method. And so let's go down here into the message class, and let me make this a little bit larger so it's easier to see. And so here is the background image, which is a private string instance variable. Here is the constructor for the message scene. It takes a background image, and then what it does is the message kind of rolls over the top of the message scene. And here is the draw background method. We're going to need to use this. And there is the format for the text of the message. And we should come around and kind of mess with this as we go. So here's what we need to do. While the X position of the message is less than the width, this is a while loop. They're telling you right now it's a while loop, and then the AP exam they did the same thing. While the X position of the message, and the message is it up here? Oh, well, so it's going to be the message. So we'll have to probably create that variable. Well, it's less than the width of the scene. We're going to keep adding something onto it. So let's start with this. So while the message dot, and we want to get the X value of that. So that was the get X position. All right. So while this is less than or just less than the width of the scene. Now the width of the scene is a scene method, and this extends the scene, so I can just use it. So it's just called getWidth. And you may have to refresh your memory in the Documents tab over here. Remember there you can go here and search up stuff for the theater. Now we need to, while it's less than the width, we need to draw the background and format the text using the provided methods. So, I did not mean to do that. So we want to draw the background, and that was the method that was provided. And then, why is it not like indenting in? That's in the right spot, so, oh well, I don't know. And then we also want to format the text without a space. This really bugs me though. I don't understand why it's not formatting in. Usually it does. So making sure I have my parentheses in the right spot. I think that's pretty good. So I'll leave it as it is. And so what we want to do now is we want to take the message. We want to take that message that's not being passed, but that exists, right? So we have the message, and we want to change the X position of the message. So we want to set the X position. I believe that's what it is. And my lights just went off in the room, of course. So we want to set the X position of the message. And what we need to do is get the current X position, get X position, and we want to add, I think they suggested adding 10 to it over here. Yeah, adding 10 to it. So we'll just add 10 to it. And then what we want to do is we want to draw the text. And that text is going to be the message, and we got to get the text. We have to get the text of the message. And we want it to be at the X position. So again, that is the message dot get X position. And then we also need to set it at the Y position. So the message dot get Y position. And then I learned this over the weekend. If you don't put a pause statement in there, the message goes too fast to see. So I'm just going to put a pause, and it's not going to be long. I'll go 0.2 of a second. We'll see what happens. If we need to change that, we will. Now again, I really don't like Oh, I know what I didn't do. This is a draw scene method, isn't it? So I need to go public. Now this is a void method. It's not returning anything. It's a void method, and this is going to be draw scene. I kept wondering, like, where am I getting the message from? And I forgot that this is a method. So I'm going to take the message object called the message. And I'll go right after that, and I'll put that in. Now let's see, I think, tab all that stuff in a little bit. All right, and I think this is all we have to do. I think that's all we have to do in this class. I think we just needed to I don't think I've missed anything else. That was kind of weird. I kept wondering about that, and I forgot that that's actually a method. So let's go over here to the theater runner. And there are two messages. There's a first message and a second message. And we are going to refer again. This method, this draw scene method, is in the message scene class. So we are going to refer to the message scene object. And that's the scrolling message. So I will go, there's a first message and a second message. So I'm going to go the scrolling scene message. I'm going to draw the scene, and I'm going to pass that message on. So that was first message up here. And then I will call it again for the second message. And then everything else is set up for me. I got the theater, play scene, scrolling scene. So I think all that stuff's okay. All right, so let's see what happens, man. Ooh, got lucky on this one, man. I didn't have any errors. Now this could take a while. because there's a lot of stuff happening, and it's going to have to load this thing. There it is, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 second. So there is that one. I never know, like, where is the second message? There it is. Mindset is everything. All right, kids, that's that, man. Keep plugging away.